I should bring the camera
You should
back
come
here where
closer.
I am.
Let me move the camera around. It's always so terrible.
Okay, we got some problems. Technical difficulties. Help me. Oh,
We are live.
Yeah,
That's fine. That's fine.
you're
No,
sitting on
no,
my
no.
desk.
No. Hi, guys.
Hi guys, we're really having issues again.
Anyways, tonight, we have a horrible story. We have a funny story. Well, it's kind of funny, but they're both convicted of real crimes. We are going to make...
Oh, okay, yeah. It's horrible. I was going to say, which one's horrible?
I don't know. They're all terrible. We are the host of some really terrible channels. We're going to make a drink. First thing first. We're going to have a drinky while we wait for people to get in here. So Tabasco. There's some Tabasco to start. Guys, some Tabasco in there, but not too much. My wife doesn't like too much Tabasco. And then we're going to get some of this. Oh, snappage. We're going to get some of this yummy pineapple salsa, Newman's Own. We're going to pound some of this in here. Oh, yeah. Remember last night we had the pickle drink. We had the pickle drink last night. Pickle brine night. I love some
Can you see
pizza.
that?
Oh, it's all messy.
What you giving me? You got me.
It's all messy, guys. Okay.
Oh,
And then.
pineapple salsa.
Oh, yeah.
Interesting. Chunky.
Oh, yeah. And then.
It says it's only medium heat, so
It's
hopefully you'll be okay.
sweet. It's like candy. Be
Hopefully.
good drink tonight. Mountain Dew. Oh yeah, this has turned into a foodie channel for the evening.
You had me at Mountain Dew.
Oh yeah, Mountain Dew. We'll put this in about halfway until it starts to melt the ice.
Salsa's about the flavor.
Oh yeah. Now,
Oh wow,
look how pretty.
it's stratifying. Is that the word for it? You see
Oh,
that?
it's orange.
It's doing like a little. It's doing a little
Oh yeah.
sunrise action.
I
Yeah.
already got 27.
All right. Then, shall we stir it or leave it like it is?
Maybe stir it a second and see what happens then. Stir it around.
Yeah, baby.
What do you guys think? Should I be scared, or do you think it's gonna be good?
All right, guys. There you go, my bride.
Should I try this?
Yes, this has got extra salsa on that side, so I would try it over here. It has to be served in a canning jar.
Okay.
Come on. How is it?
Oh wow,
Oh, it's
that's actually good.
oh wow.
I got some Tabasco.
That's the winner, everybody. Hello,
Okay, yep.
everybody
I
in
like
chat.
Anyway,
Rainbow's here, and
we're gonna. Hello,
I
everybody.
didn't bring my silly glasses, so I
We're
can't
gonna-
see the comments tonight. So,
We're gonna start off the story with Mark Sanchez, and boy, I went off the deep end on this one. I spent like hours glued to the set there, watching camera footage, watching everybody from TMZ to
I love that TMZ.
everybody from TMZ to Dr. Todd on this one. Sorry about that. Wow.
It does have a little kickity kick.
It does have a bit of a kick in it.
It's good for your cold you've been having for the
Yeah.
last week.
Anyway, so for if anybody didn't know about this case, it happened on October 4th, a little past midnight 30 in Indianapolis, Indiana. And Mark Sanchez, a former NFL player, and he became a commentator for the games, and he was there to commentate on a game. And he went and spent some time at a local bar. He seemed to be familiar with the area, so he's perhaps gone to that bar
pretty
before.
drink he was drinking? It was green.
That's not him. That's a different story.
It's a different guy.
Yeah, that's a totally different story.
You gotta go slower. You gotta be a little slower on your freaking research. It did look wonderful there.
He walked in when I was watching a different story about this guy that was drinking a green drink in a I don't remember if it was in a mason jar also or not, but anyway, that guy
wasn't in a mason jar.
Well, that guy ended up unalived.
So in case you're wondering if you showed up late, this is what we're drinking. Some Newman's pineapple salsa with Mountain Dew. Tonight is the
And Tabasco as a little extra num num in it. Anyway, so Mark Sanchez, a ex NFL player turned commentator on games, and he is now charged with 3 misdemeanors and a felony for a crazy thing that happened on October 4th, a little after 12:35 in the morning is when the police responded, and the original. Are you squabbling with our child by any chance?
Yes,
Child
children.
just wants to eat Tabasco and saltines.
He wanted my salsa.
He needed
and he wanted the Tabasco.
Jay needed the Tabasco because he's got his saltines and he's having Tabasco and his saltines while he's playing.
Maybe
Sorry.
He had enough salsa.
While he's playing Far Cry 3 over there on his Xbox. Very cozy family. Very cozy family situation. Anyway, let's get into it. So, I hadn't realized that Mark Sanchez was kind of the butt of a lot of jokes too from when he played in the NFL, and he did a butt fumble where the ball bounced off his butt and stuff like that. So yeah, apparently he's kind of a joke. But anyhow, 12:35 in the morning in Indianapolis, the 911 gets a call saying that someone's been shot in this alley, and police arrived and they found Mark Sanchez, but there hadn't been any kind of pew-pews involved. He was suffering from
There we go.
Are we allowed to say stab wound?
She's more pretty when she's on the light, isn't she?
Anyway, he had a stab wound, and they asked him what happened, and he said that he can only remember that he was grabbing for a window, which didn't make any sense to them. Grabbing for a window, and somebody's, whatever. But anyway, they went and checked out the area, and then they found in the alley 69-year-old truck driver Perry Toll, also suffering from some pretty bad knife wounds. He was cut in the cheek and his tongue and stuff. And and Perry Toll said that his job is to recycle the oil from the restaurants, and he had his truck up at the loading dock behind one of the hotels on that street. And he said then this guy that he didn't recognize, which is Mark Sanchez, that's who he identified as being the guy. So this big guy came and told him he couldn't be there, and the big guy went and climbed up inside the cab of his truck and tried to move his truck, and he told him, you can't be in here. And Mark had gotten back out of the truck and got argumentative. Words were said. Mark said that he had talked to the manager of the hotel and this truck had to be moved. And Perry was confused and said that he needed to talk to the manager. And Perry started to walk to the hotel, at which point Mark ran up and basically tackled him. And he took him to the ground, and the two were wrestling around. And then Perry went and got a hold of his pepper spray, and he sprayed Mark, and that didn't stop him at all. And so, in the midst of all this, the two guys, were shouting back and forth at each other, and Perry's like trying to run from Mark. Mark's after him. They were having words, and they also had their cell phones out, and were recording each other. That's never a good thing when you see two guys yelling at each other and holding up their cell phones at each other. Which is what the scene was when an eyewitness, just going by the name of BB, or initials BB, said that he saw the large male in a black shirt, and truck driver, and they both had their phones out, and they were filming each other, and then he thought maybe they were friends or something, and maybe they were starting to wrestle, because then he saw the big guy take the smaller guy down to the ground again, and then he kind of got out of there because he realized something wasn't good, and
Easy.
and so then Perry went back to the cab of his truck, and meanwhile Mark had been trying to get back into Perry's truck also, and Perry got a knife out of his truck to try to keep Mark off of him, and there was a scuffle between them, and Perry got the knife to the face and cut his tongue and stuff, and at the same time Mark got a wound to his upper right chest area, and then Mark took off running, and that's where he went and was then called in to 911, and police got to go over all of this video footage, the two guys' phones, the footage from in the alleyway, the witness reports, everything all pointed to the same thing, that Perry's report of the situation was exactly what was seen on all of the recordings, that Mark was visibly intoxicated, agitated, and telling some untruths and trying to get into the truck, and then he started the physical assault on Perry, and then took off running after he himself got stabbed, and left Perry laying in the alley near his truck. And Perry got out of the hospital and everything on time to attend his son's wedding this weekend, and Mark has just gotten out of the hospital. He had surgery for his chest wound, and then after he got released from the hospital, he went down to the jail where he did his mug shot and did his booking stuff, and then of course he was released, and his next court date is November 5th. And when he was asked to make a statement by the reporters that saw him leaving the police station, Mark was saying that he's focusing on his healing, and he wants to see his wife, his son, and his two baby girls. And so he just wasn't really giving too much up. I mean, because at first when he said that he was focusing on his healing, I thought maybe he was already going to start making a play for, that he has a substance abuse issue or something that would contribute to this whole incident. But at this point, he just said that he was focusing on his healing from his wounds, and that he was grateful to the first responders and grateful to the surgeon and all this other stuff. And when he was asked if he had anything to say to the truck driver, he declined to say anything to or about or anything the truck driver, which is probably pretty wise, because Mark is facing what are the charges again? His misdemeanors, his 3 misdemeanors are battery causing bodily injury, unauthorized entry to a vehicle, and public intoxication. And then his felony charge is battery causing serious bodily injury. And that one, if convicted and getting the max, he could be facing up to 6 years in prison. and and then going back to what all was seen on the released portions of video, you see that Mark was agitated. He was pacing, prowling almost. I mean, if you ever seen a caged lion at the zoo when he's like in an agitated state, that's what Mark was seeming like in the alley, pacing up and down. It was like he was looking for some kind of trouble. And then Perry just happened to be in the wrong place at the wrong time, and Mark let him have it. And I do think that alcohol is going to be a contributing factor to this. I think that most likely the criminal defense is going to be something about substance abuse or use, and who knows if there was anything besides alcohol involved in this, but I have a feeling that that's going to be part of the play here, and that they're going to cite the fact that he hasn't really been in any other trouble and stuff like that.
So how's our drink?
Very good, and really pineapple-y too. That would be the salsa. It's yummy. So, when I first had heard about this case and hadn't actually seen all the different footage and the different angles, and heard what various witnesses, I mean, I know it's just hearsay, it's not what's going to hold up, and it's not necessarily going to be in court, but those videos are definitely going to be part of it. And it sounds like Perry, the 69-year-old truck driver, he's going to be a very good witness as well. Perry. Cool name too. Phineas and Ferb, anybody? Perry the Platypus?
A truck driver?
Yeah,
Well,
Perry
he
the
was
truck driver.
No, Perry.
And
Well, the one guy was he picked up used
And-
grease from the restaurants. And this other guy.
he may have delivered new grease and picked up the old grease.
No, he didn't deliver new grease.
Oh, okay. One of the reporters said that he delivered new grease as well as picked up the old grease.
To the restaurants.
Yeah,
That's kind of weird.
yeah, that is kind of weird. So
Putting in grease for recycling.
I didn't know what to think of that report. I forget who it was that reported
Was
that one.
Some
That one-
mainstream media, probably.
Yeah, I think it was a news station.
Yeah.
Anyway, my guess is that Mark may be able to save his career out of all this, as long as he does an alcohol and or substance program, depending on what the case is with that. Before seeing the footage, before hearing about the alcohol use and the fact that Perry also said that the guy really reeked of alcohol. Before that, I was contemplating maybe brain injury or something, because some of those football players get a brain injury and they get violent and stuff like that. But now that I've seen the footage and also seen the interview with this guy after he got out of doing his booking and everything, I'm going to assume that this is just alcohol and a dude flexing, being like a gym, what do they call it, chads or whatever. And he thought that he was the shiznat, and he thought that he could push around this truck driver. He felt like he owned that alley and that he was the only one that had the right to be there. So he was also doing that whole busybody thing. Oh, I talked to the manager. You can't be here. And then taking it upon himself to try to climb up into the truck and try to move the truck, but he didn't know how to work the truck and all that, which is a vehicle that doesn't belong to him and he's not authorized to use. Plus 3 sheets to the wind and all that. I'm sure he's going to get in some sort of trouble, but he may not be doing any kind of time. And he may, be adding more embarrassment to his career of getting embarrassed. Next case that I was looking at is the case of Jacob Pritchett and out of Brooklyn, and this one has got me heartbroken for a number of reasons. One of them being that Jacob is an 11-year-old on the autism spectrum. He's nonverbal, and neighbors stated that he and his mother had been living in that area, in that particular apartment for about let's see, I put down years. I didn't say how many years, but anyway, they'd been living there. The neighborhood was familiar with them. He was a familiar sight up there in his upstairs window, playing on his windowsill with his toys, and just being a familiar face to the neighbors. And then once this all went down, the neighbors were shocked at realizing, oh wait, I haven't seen that kid in the window in a long time, weeks, months. And one woman, the next door neighbor, said, you know what, I have not seen him in that window since summer began. And so that's troubling. And it was also revealed that he had not been attending any kind of schooling. I don't know if he is supposedly homeschooled or what, but somebody at least was caring about this kid and called in a well-being check on the child on September 25th, at which time Children Protective personnel went to the apartment and were allowed in by the mother, who then told them, go ahead and look around, but there's no children here. There's no kids here. I've never had a child. And, they looked around the apartment, and they didn't see any sign of a kid, no kid's clothes or anything like that. There were some toys that were lined up, like on the windowsill and stuff like that, which to me doesn't indicate that he hasn't been there in a long time or anything. But the neighbors not seeing him in a long time is what indicates that, because oftentimes kids on the spectrum will play by lining their toys up in rows or stacking them or whatever. So there was sign that there had been a child in that apartment. But with the mom insisting that she's never had a child, and she is in her 50s, and so they didn't have any proof at that point that she had a child. So then they had to go do their due diligence, get the paperwork, find the birth certificates, birth records and stuff, and found out that she did indeed have a child, Jacob Pritchett, now aged 11. And so they went back there again with a warrant and arrested the mother, who is still insisting that she's never had a child, even when confronted with the birth records and everything. And her mental health has been called into question. The mom is currently undergoing an evaluation. She's hospitalized involuntarily, and they are doing a full mental health evaluation on her. Neighbors are stating that the mom's mental health has been deteriorating over the past couple years, and that she's been agitated and easily worked up into a confrontational state, and that they'd heard lots of yelling coming out of the apartment in the past year or so, and the neighbors are afraid of her, and all this yelling that they're hearing, that's got to all be just her, because when they're saying that it's words that they're hearing, because they said that they heard the child like scream or grunt, make noises, but they've never heard him speak. And so anyway, they went in there and did a complete search with dogs and didn't find any sign of the child, but they did find evidence of blood in the refrigerator. No word yet on whether they've had that run, whether they know whether that's human or whether it belongs to Jacob or what. But the most recent news was that this weekend they were searching a landfill over 5 hours away from this apartment. And I was pretty, 5 hours, and I was really freaked out at first going, 5 hours, how'd they get the tip to be looking, 5 hours away and stuff? And I thought, but then it turns out that what it was about was a few years ago, the entire neighborhood and community had been making complaints about the local landfill had a horrible stench to it, and that this was just like unacceptable, and so they ended up getting a contract with waste management so that the waste is shipped off to this landfill that is 5 hours away. So they're doing their due diligence there, since they didn't find any evidence of the child at the home or the yard or in the neighborhood. And so then they're like, well, we better also check the landfill. And this case makes me really sad, and I'm just hoping that he is found one way or another.
It's a long
Awful,
waste.
huh?
Jeez.
But also, since that's a case of an awful mom in one way, just that she's been losing
We're
it.
doing more than one awful mom tonight.
Yeah, moving on
We
to.
should have had a trifecta and include that freaking Lakin girl too. She's another bad
Lake and
mom.
Snelling. Well, we talked about her yesterday.
We talked
so,
about her the day
so
before
you can just
as well.
yeah, we're always talking about her. But anyway, Jacob Pritchett's mom is basically just a bad mom at this point, because she might have mental health issues and she might not know what happened to her child, or she may have done something to him. And that investigation waits to be, is we're waiting to find out on what all might have happened there. But this other rotten mom,
Thank you, Cupcake.
there is proof that this other rotten mom is a rotten mom. And what she did is as horrific as it is unbelievable, and just kind of like, is this even real? At first I thought it was fake news when I was hearing some of the report of this.
Which one are we doing?
Oninda Romulus in Texas, Angleton, Texas. to
Oh,
be
that
exact.
lady.
Which actually turns out to be another big long trip. I forgot to do the map quest or Google quest or whatever.
That's so.
I forgot to do the mileage.
It's like 40 years ago technology.
I forgot to do the mileage between Angleton and Porter, Texas, where she actually lived. But it's a ways. It's out of the way. It's not her neighborhood. But anyway, it's a little after 5 o'clock in the morning. Police receive an emergency call, 911 call. Somebody's called 911, and they have said, you got to get over to this gas station, and given the address and everything, and saying that kids have been shot and stuff. And when they get there, the scene is horrific. First off, Oninda wasn't making any sense to them. She was like
I'm not mad at you, Cupcake.
off on another planet or something, and talking to law enforcement. One of the things that she said that didn't make any sense was she said that her children were with the devil, and
That's crazy.
and then they were asking her, why did you call 911? Because she is the one that called 911, and they even saw footage of her pull into the gas station shortly before the 911 call was placed, and then they showed her on her cell phone, and and she had her carload of kids. I'm not sure if horrific incident happened there at the gas pumps, or exactly where she did this. But she called law enforcement. She bought $56 worth of gasoline and was just sitting there at the gas island when the cops arrived.
I wonder why she bought all that
And
gas.
in the front passenger seat was her 13-year-old son, no longer alive. Firearms were used in this. In case we'll just leave it there. But 13-year-old son, no longer alive. His legs are still in the passenger seat, front passenger seat. The doors open of the car, and the rest of him is laying out the door onto the tarmac, apron. What do you call it? Of the gas station floor. The outside gas station floor next to the pump. He's laying there.
The gas island, possibly?
Gas island. Sure. He's laying there, and she has put a white sheet on him. So he's laying there with a white sheet on him. In the back seat of the car are her 3 other children. A 3-year-old girl who is under a white sheet. We know why she puts white sheets on people. So the baby girl didn't make it either. The other 2 kids are an 8-year-old boy and a 9-year-old girl. They were life flighted out of there, and they're going to be okay. But they were in the back seat of the vehicle. And when she was asked why she called 911, Oninda said that she didn't call 911. She called the devil. And then they were asking her, what happened here, and she said,
Texas girl, huh?
And she said, she's actually from Georgia.
Oh.
They've lived in Texas for a little while, though. But she tells the cops, I did it to them before they could do it to me. And then they're asking her, what she's talking about. And then eventually she says, them all. And they're like, well,
F them all.
K-word. So that's right.
That's
K-word them all.
We can't use that word on YouTube.
And she's being held on a $14 million bond. The cops are looking more into that and what all could have been a motivation. And of course, they're going to be doing psych evals and talk screens and everything on this mom, because this mom is, she's way out there. And when they went to search her house to get more evidence on what all happened here, why she may have done this to the kids, they go to the house and they find this huge amount of evidence of identity theft and who knows what all else. She had like over a dozen social security cards belonging to other people. She had a bunch of different IDs. She had credit cards belonging to other people. She had
credit card fraud.
Oh, it goes way beyond that. It's some kind of identity theft stuff going on, because the credit cards and everything, basically it's IDs that are not her name but are her photo.
Drinky.
And I was trying to read my notes and you're taking them away from me. So they got all that in her home, and then a search of the home, and also her Instagram shows that she has got a lavish lifestyle. She spends so much money on nails and hair and makeup and different beauty routines and procedures, and also
what was that procedure, that phrase we just learned?
BBL, Brazilian butt lift.
BBL.
Yeah.
I learned something new today.
Yeah, she's got Brazilian butt lift, the works. She's got and she's got Gucci, and she's got, she's got so much brand name, super expensive stuff in her house, new cars, stuff like that. She's got stacks of cash,
I saw that stack.
fat
of cash.
stacks
Hundreds
of cash,
and 50s.
hundreds of 50s, just
Yeah.
like fat stacks of them. And
That all sounds like she had a good thing going until she did that with the children.
and who knows what all she was doing for this money, too, because she was also leaving the country with the kids. She went to oh no, I don't remember where they went, but a tropical island paradise, basically. Went there with the kids and stuff like that, and then they've got to do more of a they definitely have to do more investigating of her and of her relationship with her kids, not just her social media presence regarding the kids, because maybe part of that was fake, because like her social media is almost devoid of children, and whenever she does have posting of the kids, she's kind of like pain in the ass kids, and f them kids and all that kind of stuff. And
she's all about me.
oh yeah, she's all about me.
Yeah.
She also was asked if she, when she was being interviewed, she was asked if she had kids, and then she told them no, because they're all dead. Because
They're with the devil now.
Yeah, they're with the devil now, and she said that they're dead, and then she was told that 2 of them survived, and then she said, well, they're dead to me, and
Apparently.
When another time that she was being questioned, and she was asked why would she do this horrific thing, she said, because you can't take me without me taking you. I was like, what?
She was wanting to take them out before they took her out.
Or something, but they're just little kids.
Yeah, but that's how her brain was working, though.
And so a deep dive into her history came up with only one known previous charge, and that was a DUI involving controlled substance in 2022. And also, about 3 years or so ago, she appeared on a television show that also is available on YouTube now, where she took 2 different guys to paternity court,
I never saw that show.
saying that one of them was the dad of her son, and I think it might actually be the son that's no longer alive now. But she took those 2 guys to court, and then it turned out that neither one of them was the father of the child.
Neither one of them.
Nope, neither one of them. They're the 2
both-
she took to court.
They
Neither
both
one of them.
dodged that bullet, dude.
Yeah, yeah.
If she was looking like
Literally.
that. If she was looking like that, maybe you guys
Mm-hmm.
got off light.
Yeah, she was a crazy looker, wasn't she? And anyway, there's going to be a lot more investigating into her case, and I'm wondering what all dirt's going to come up in this whole investigation. And apparently, right now, the 2 surviving kids are still under medical care, but there are other family members that are willing to take them in and keep them away from this horrid woman. So we'll be looking into that, and I hope this woman does not get out.
She's not
ever.
getting out for a long time, dude.
I hope she doesn't get out ever. And
Mm.
she's got $14 million bond. She's not going to be
With all this
cashing
stacks
out
of
before
cash,
trial.
though, you think maybe she has that much, though. Anyways, welcome to our channel, and we talk about true crime here, in case anybody didn't know that.
And
Thank you for returning, some of you guys I saw in there earlier.
Let me have another drink of
Tonight we're drinking.
the hot spicy
Tonight,
stuff.
Julez
pretty good.
drinking some Newman's Own pineapple and Mountain Dew and Tabasco cocktail. Alcohol
Splash
free.
Tabasco.
It got too spicy. I had to cut it down with more Mountain Dew.
All right.
Yeah. So what's our next story? Is going to be that crazy Florida story.
Yeah, Miami-Dade story.
Yeah, there's a crazy story. This
And
one
this
doesn't
one-
involve any murder, death, kill. This one,
Well, it sort of does, because it's two inmates who were both in jail, both charged with murders.
MDK.
Yeah, charged with MDK, but one's a male and one's a female. The male is on the 4th floor, the female's on the 6th floor. I'm not sure exactly of who the male is accused of unaliving, but he's in there doing his time, and he starts hearing what he thinks is a heavenly voice coming through the air vent in his cell. And it is this woman, Daisy, who is up there on the 6th floor.
Daisy.
Her cell is just 2 floors above him. Daisy, his voice from heaven.
He was lonely, dude.
And they were falling in love. Well, he was falling in love. Daisy's being a lot more pragmatic. Daisy's already had a relationship and has some kids, and Daisy is facing. Did she end up being charged with regular murder, or did she get like something lesser?
I'm not sure.
She got lesser. She got 2nd-degree murder. And she's actually going on trial this coming week.
Oh, great.
And anyway, Daisy unalived her partner, the father of her kids, in an argument. I guess she said that he was abusive. I'm not sure exactly what her defense is, but she wanted to teach him a lesson. So she took out her pew-pew and got him in the leg. She thought he was only going to be injured, but she got the femoral artery. He bled out. He is no more. She went to jail and charged with murder. So
Been in
anyway,
there for a while as well.
so she's sitting there and she's bored and she's wondering how she's going to get out. And then there's this guy that, she thinks he sounds cute. I believe he's a little bit younger than her.
Sounds cute.
Yeah, she thinks he sounds cute. Because she's never actually seen him. But, he's talking to her and he's like...
He could have been anyone.
But he's telling her that he's falling in love with her. And, and he said that everybody else on his, on his cell block must have thought he was crazy because he's constantly talking to the air vents and saying, I love you, baby girl, and all this stuff. And
how loud do you think he had to scream into the vent?
I don't know how loud he had to scream into the vent, but
So everybody on the whole floor.
But their relationship grew, but they never actually met each other in person. But then they figured out, they decided to try something. They decided to try to pass notes to each other, to be more real than just talking to each other through the air vent. So they started writing each other notes, and it started with Daisy sending him a note by she unraveled the threads in her mattress to make a long enough string to wrap it around a note and drop it down the air vent and see if he could get it. And he got the note, and and he put hearts on it and everything and sent it back to her. And so they were sending notes back and forth. And then from the notes, they then decided to involve a third party in order to have phone calls with each other. Because, they're both in jail, so you can't really call,
You can't
inmate
call
to
the
inmate.
other. Right.
But what they would do would be they would call a third party who would then do a conference call basically between the two so they could flirt with each other and whatever. And and then he's all like, I really want to be a daddy. I'm catching a murder rap. I might never make it home, and I would really love to be a daddy. And she's like, well, I'm a mom, and I'd be happy to have your babies for you, and all this. And then he's like, oh, and they're talking about that for a little bit. And then they went, wait a minute, if we can send notes back and forth, maybe we can send something else back and forth.
Ah!
Yeah. Oh, yeah. So,
What do you think? What?
and like I said, he's younger than her, so he's got a bit of energy and a lot of time
It's got
on his
nothing
hands,
What time, dude?
but not butt. And so he starts spanking it like crazy.
No, the word is jorking.
Okay, he starts jorking it like crazy,
5 times a day.
and while she calls it the semen and actually spells it like sailors, seamen, she calls it that, but he calls it his babies. And he said that he would wrap up his babies in saran wrap and put them on the string and send them up to Daisy.
So that's a brand loyal thing, right?
For her.
Saran wrap.
Yeah. And he said that he would do this like 5 times a day for a whole month for Daisy to use.
But did he save that for 5? Or did he send it like up every day?
No, he said every day, 5 times a day,
He sent it upstairs.
he would send it upstairs for Daisy to use. And Daisy said that every time, without fail, that he sent this special present to her, she would then take the saran wrap and empty it into a applicator for treating yeast infections. And she would put his magic sailors in there, and she would inject herself 5 times a day.
Remember, she said, send it at nighttime.
Yeah, and she told him that she'd prefer it if he sent it to her at night, so she could just chill with it,
just
relax and chill with it. And so she did this, and then she started writing to the jail saying she wanted a pregnancy test, and she wasn't feeling well and stuff like that. The jail didn't do anything about it for about 3 months, but then eventually they did give her pregnancy test, which came back positive.
Dude.
And she talked, and and the jail was starting to kind of catch on because they were able to monitor these guys' phone calls sometimes, because they started getting suspicious. What's going on with this Daisy chick, and who's she talking to, and who's this guy talking to? Because all of a sudden he's got a little extra bumps in his step and everything, because he was asking Daisy, did it work, and they were talking about that.
She's
and,
all like, mm-hmm.
And she's like, mm-hmm. And she's like, I'm usually like clockwork, and I'm late, and so I know, I already have kids, I know. And so he's like, mm-hmm.
Yeah, how many kids you got at home?
I'm not sure how many. I want to say 4, but I'm not sure.
My.
But anyway, another funny thing is that Daisy called her mom on the phone. Her mom is taking care of Daisy's kids, and Daisy calls her mom and tells her mom, I'm pregnant, and her mom's like, you're a dumbass. And
You're lying.
You're lying. You're a dumbass. And then Daisy's like saying, I'm pregnant, and I'm gonna get money out of this, and I'm probably even gonna get let out of jail. And her mom's like, you're stupid for telling this on this phone line, because mom already knew that this is all getting recorded for sure. Anyway, it was a planned baby. In December, the pregnancy was confirmed, and then a year ago in June, a baby daughter was born to Daisy. And what is this guy's name again? I wrote down his
but
name.
he was all happy and proud in jail.
His last name is DePaz, though, and he was like overjoyed. I mean, his face looked like it was going to split in half when he found out he was going to be a daddy.
When that baby grows up, it's going to be, I know I was wanted.
Yeah, he's super. That's a baby girl. And she is being raised by DePaz's mother, who was very happy to raise her son's child. And so that baby is with DePaz's mother. DePaz is like overjoyed that he's got a baby girl now. And actually, some fertility experts have weighed in on this and said that this baby really is a miracle baby, because they're saying that with the situation with the imprecise deal, and with him jorking it 5 times a day, and saran wrap and air conditioning vents and
Oh yeah.
and
It's gonna be cold in there. Huh?
and the yeast infection applicators and all that, they were saying that they would guess that there was 5% or less chance that it would have been successful, but it was successful, and there have been DNA tests that confirmed it, that and physical inspections of Daisy and everything, so they know for a fact that there was no in-person contact between Daisy and any males, and that this baby is definitely DePaz's baby, and he's never been on the 6th floor, and Daisy's never been on the 4th floor, and they've never ever met in person at all.
I remember.
But this is their baby.
We've heard story about them people passing things back and forth through the toilet.
Oh,
remember
yeah.
hearing that story?
Yeah, we talked to a couple of different people that had been inmates back when we were young, and one of them was one of the people whose kids we took in, and she was telling us about she had fallen in love with some guy that she would flush messages to him.
What?
Or no, hers was kind of the same as this. It was like through a window and getting fished in another window down below or above. I'm not sure what, but no, I remember what you're talking about now, and you're talking about that young guy that was telling us about how there was a toilet on the floor that he was on, and basically they had like a restroom, and people got let out of their cells to go use the restroom and stuff, and one of the toilets, actually, you could hear the toilet on the women's floor from that toilet. I don't know if it was on different floors or if they just had a shared wall or what, but he said about how weird it was if he walked into the bathroom and there'd be a guy down on his hands and knees yelling into the toilet, "I love you!"
Jeez.
So, yeah, strange business.
That's only in county jail.
Yeah, that was county jail, and this case also took place in a county jail over in Miami-Dade.
Of course, it's a Florida story. That's a good stories coming out of Florida. Jeez.
Oh,
So,
goodness.
we're gonna take requests for the next show. We've been on almost an hour. So.
Alrighty.
You guys want to hear a story? Want to put one in for request?
Anyway, and then this one is
yet another story.
well, it's not really a story. It's just the fact that I went and looked up Lake and Riley, because I had come up with the name Lake and Riley when I was trying to remember Lake and Snelling's name, and I was like, why is Lake and Riley familiar to me? And then I found out that was that horrific case where the nursing student had been out jogging
Yeah, another terrible story.
on a trail, and she was attacked, and she was stabbed to death by an illegal immigrant named Jose Ibarra, who 10 months ago was given life without parole, and that basically Lake and Riley convicted him herself because it was her own body that told the tale. She had his DNA under her fingernails and everything. And then, while I can't come up with a name of other cases, I do recall that there have been other cases too where they say that it was solved because the victim made sure to gouge, scratch, do whatever they could. And so I just like to, well, I hope that nobody in the audience has ever attacked or anything, just don't be polite. Don't be a gentleman or a lady about it. If you're getting attacked, give it your all. Scratch, bite, spit, do whatever you need to do. Make a lot of noise and create a huge evidence trail.
Oh, it's like that girl in Canada. What was it in Canada? Where in the parking garage? Where that guy? And she came chasing after him after she was assaulted. We just did it the other day.
Is it a real one or is it a P4?
It was a native one.
Okay.
Okay, never mind. Carry on.
Okay. If you're talking about a native one, it didn't take place in Canada.
It wasn't in Canada.
It took place in Denver. And she didn't make it.
Yeah, that's
But
right.
she did fight and she gave it her all. And he left the parking garage before her. She managed to make it out of there a few minutes after him. And her head injuries were so bad that she couldn't even talk. And just, it was a miracle that she was even able to walk. But she was able to stumble over to an outdoor cafe seating area, and those people called 911 for her, and they were able to follow the blood trail back to the parking garage, and there was the CCTV footage and everything too, and so they were able to see the entire attack. Plus, she had all the evidence on her. She fought back like crazy. There was so much DNA evidence that there was, the guy got life without the possibility of parole, and it's just
DNA was really what I was trying to
yes,
say.
the
It's
DNA
get the
was
DNA under
yes,
the
get the
nails
DNA under the nails, for sure.
Yeah.
And
Another
yeah,
terrible story. Should rename the channel to Terrible Stories.
Jules and Jack's terrible stories.
I think so, huh? Do you guys have any requests? We're trying to hit 10,000 subs before the first of the year, so if you guys want to subscribe up, that'd be awesome. Hit that like button, and
it's a slow climb, but we're working on it, and we had some glitches earlier where we're actually getting back to where we were
we had
before we started the mass unsubbing.
we had some serious issues on this channel. Like we'd run full production videos and we'd only get 40 views. Something was broken.
Yeah.
And we'd spend a week in the video editor and we get 22 views. Something was broken.
And we weren't consistent enough either, because I kept chickening out and stuff because of negative feedback and
Yeah, but we're zapping those trolls now.
And I'm not even talking about that per se. I'm talking about a certain troll who is now on house arrest in Alamosa County.
That freaking guy.
He's a jerk.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm gonna be so happy when he gets convicted. I am going to laugh.
So we're in the middle of transitioning from one studio to the next.
Mm-hmm.
And once we get the other studio going, we'll have more B-roll, will be more entertaining. The audio will be sounding a lot better.
Plus, I'm thinking that we'll be able to get a couple of the other tripods and stuff out, and maybe we'll be able to go get some outdoor footage for everybody of our travels and such.
Stick around. Things are going to be doing
So we'll be doing
a lot more entertaining around here.
Yeah, we'll try to be doing a lot more interesting stuff, and way more interesting stuff. Maybe
most likely it'll still be true crime based.
Oh, it'll definitely still be true crime
Because
based.
you just can't stop
But-
talking about that, can you?
No, it's one of my guilty pleasures. No, it's not so much a pleasure. It's just
And nothing's been going on
Yeah.
with D4VD.
yet.
Not yet. They have to get in. They have to get all the players gathered up. There's going to be a lot of players coming forward soon. So they can't just arrest the wrong guy. They want to find out who actually is involved.
Yep.
So we didn't forget about that one. We're going to come back and visit that.
And also, here in the United States, a lot of places are celebrating tomorrow as Indigenous Peoples Day. So happy Indigenous Peoples Day, everyone. There's going to be
Let's see what this
interesting
message is.
stuff going on in certain places, and I think that we're going to try to check out a dedication and
we can't
stuff
use
like
that P word.
People?
Adult entertainment P word.
Oh.
You know those movies that we can't talk about.
Oh, I always just call it prawn.
Or corn.
You know, like I'm totally
Like
into seafood.
Like that rock band called Corn.
Or like corn, yeah. We can say we can talk about corn, or we can talk about
so.
prawns. And
out of all the concerts you've seen, which one do you regret going to 3 times?
I regret going to see Disturbed 3 times. Don't get me wrong. Good shows, great pyrotechnics and all that, but the politics of this guy.
Drop it right here.
Yeah, the politics of this guy. Just no. And I found out that I'm not the only one.
You know
that's
who's on
just fed
tour
up
with
with
right now? That dude.
Megadeth.
Dude. Megadeth just dropped some new content. If you guys are metalheads at all.
And was it Brussels, Belgium, where Disturbed is banned from performing?
Belgium? Mm-hmm.
Yeah, they're banned from performing there due to the stunt that he did, where he signed
stupid big bullet.
He signed a big giant bullet that was sent to a certain strip of land, and he signed that freaking bullet. And people didn't want to condone that, and at first they thought that they weren't going to be able to stop it, like the mayor of the place where this concert was going to take place.
Yes.
But then,
well, now you won't have to go see Disturbed.
Union workers there in Belgium said that they would picket and things like that, and that gave the mayor the ability to say, okay, these guys can't play here because there's too much of a chance that there would be, violence or disorder or anything, because the unions said, you know what, we'll picket if he shows up here.
Oh, dude. They're going to picket?
Yeah.
How many people's going to cross that picket line to go see that guy? Not me.
So anyway.
Anyways. So that's our rock news for the show, and we try to talk about more stuff than just true crime on this channel nowadays.
Oh,
what's next?
And you know how yesterday we had that story, the horrible story about the horrible awful musician, the singer, and
that guy, yeah.
But then seeing somebody else do the,
what's the name of that band?
The sign and everything being Lost Prophets.
Mm-hmm. Lost Prophets.
But and a lot of people were bummed, and about that having had been one of their favorite bands coming up and everything.
Ian Watkins,
and they were saying about how sickened they were when they found out about the lead singer. And then that brings me to a feel-good thing about meeting one of our favorite singers in person. And he is a beautiful, wonderful, awesome person, and total opposite of what people would imagine if they didn't know. When he's like, the guy's name is George Fisher. His stage name is Corpse Grinder. He is the singer for Cannibal Corpse, and this guy is a beautiful human being. And whenever he's on tour and in different towns, he plays the claw machines and he wins toys, which he donates to kids. And He also goes and shops the sales, in his downtime. This is what this big old metal guy.
Yeah.
This is what he does in his downtime as he goes shopping toy sales so that he can donate toys to kids who need toys.
We met him,
and
we're not going to say where we met him.
why not?
Because we can't. Because it'll give him up, and we can't dox him.
Oh, but that was years ago.
It doesn't matter.
But okay, we met him though, and
it wasn't even at a concert or anything.
It was just out
in
being
the real world,
a regular human person. And he had one of his regular human kids with him, and we had our regular human kid with us, and our regular human kid is the same age as his regular human kid, and our human kid was so excited to see him too. And then George's daughter said, "And you thought nobody would recognize you, Daddy."
Yeah. True story, guys.
But he posed for pictures and everything, and he was just great.
He even took time out to get his picture taken.
Mm-hmm.
Anyways. So hit us up on that 10,000 subscriber goal. Drop a like you like. We'll talk about some cool stuff. Mostly true crime and terrible stories, but never know when a good one's going to pop in there.
Give me some more hot sauce.
Oh, definitely.
It's clearing out my sinuses.
Newman's Own. Pineapple salsa. Mountain Dew. Tabasco. Yum, yum. So.
The pineapple salsa is kind of sweet. It's a kind of a mild salsa, but he threw some Tabasco in there, which is what is causing the residual cough. But it also is just like knocking everything loose. I know that's gross, but it's knocking everything loose and making me feel a lot better, both in the chest and in the head and everything. It's just like, yeah, the hot sauce cure.
So what else can we talk about? We saw that band. We saw that Southern band, Molly Hatchet. Remember those guys?
Yeah.
They were pretty nice too.
Yeah, they were way nice, and it's funny too because our kid for a long time regretted not doing the hat trade because our kid had a favorite hat that they were wearing, and one of the band members is well known for their hat, and they actually did a trade for a while at the concert. They traded hats, but then our kid traded back, even though the only hatchet person was like, I'll do a permanent trade, but our kid was like, no. Yeah, but then a couple of years later, going, I should have traded hats.
Just don't get to hear those guys on Sirius XM. Maybe once every couple months you hear.
Yeah.
That's about it. So, can we recap Mark Sanchez? Didn't get to look at anything today. Can we recap?
Okay.
Yeah, let's recap that.
Let's recap Mark Sanchez.
This is a true crime channel, and we've just cracked 1 hour. So,
okay, Mark Sanchez, former NFL player and now a commentator for football, and he was in Indianapolis, and he was hitting up a bar that's over between two hotels in an alley, and apparently he's familiar with the area and he's familiar with this bar, and he's seen on CCTV footage when he left the bar. He's kind of feeling no pain, but he's kind of like also he's agitated. He's kind of bouncing around a little bit. He's looking around and he's pacing. He does a little bit of running and a little, kind of like, it almost reminded me. Anybody ever watch Rocky? When Rocky's doing his workout, running around the town here. Well, anyway, it kind of looked like he was looking for something to happen, and then he found it. A 69-year-old truck driver.
Was he that old?
Yeah, 69 years old. 69-year-old truck driver whose job was to recycle the oil from these restaurants. Shows up with his oil truck, and no, it's not like petroleum oil, it's like cooking oil. And he shows up and he's in the alley, he's over at the loading dock, and he's doing the oil exchange, And Sanchez goes up to the guy and tells him, "Hey, you can't be here." And the truck driver's trying to be polite and trying to explain, it's my job. I'm supposed to be here. And Sanchez um, climbs up the on the truck and tries to get in. And at that time, he isn't able to get in, but then he does get in and he tries to move the truck. And truck driver is very, like very confused and worried and saying, you can't be in here. This isn't, you don't have permission. Don't be in the truck. And then Sanchez is like, well, I have talked to the manager of the hotel, and they say you cannot be here. And yeah, but not Karen because.
Oh yeah, we're not supposed to talk about.
Because we have a great troll hunter named Karen, right, and so I don't like using the word Karen anymore.
We said we wouldn't use that phrase anymore.
So being a busybody.
A busybody.
And then he goes and tells this truck driver, Perry Toll, that, the manager has said he has to move the truck. And Perry says, okay, well, I'm going to go talk to the manager because, I don't understand. I need to, get this figured out because this is my job. And so he gets down onto into the alley, and he starts to walk to the hotel. And Mark's not having it. And this also was witnessed by a man going by the initials BB. He's one of the witnesses, and he was on his way to go pick up his daughter, and he saw these guys in the alley. And at first he thought they were friends or something, and then he realized that they had their cell phones on each other this whole time, and then he thought maybe they were play fighting or something. And then the truck driver started walking towards the hotel, and then Mark ran up behind, or as BB was calling him, the big guy, ran up on the truck driver and knocked him to the ground. And then they're rolling around on the ground, and BB's like, "Oh, I hope they're play fighting," and he takes off. And but all of this is caught on CCTV as well as on these guys' phones. And so Perry's like, "I don't want any trouble with you," and that kind of thing. And Mark's like, "You can't be here. Get out of here." And then Mark goes back to try to get in the truck again, and Perry runs to the truck, and Perry grabs his pepper spray and he sprays Mark to get Mark off of him as Mark's going after him.
Sorry, Karen.
And the pepper spray does not even slow down Mark at all. He's just going all gung-ho at Perry, and Perry's in fear of his life. So at that point, Perry reaches into his truck and he grabs a knife, and the two scuffle over the knife. Perry ends up being cut on the cheek and the mouth and his tongue. He almost lost his tongue.
He did.
And Mark got a knife wound to the upper right quadrant of his chest. And so at that point, that's when Mark stops, and he just turns and he runs the opposite direction back out of that alley, and 911 gets called. This whole event, by the way, only took 10 minutes from 9:25 when the truck pulled in to 9:35 when 911 got called. And the report was that someone had gotten pew-pewed in the alley. So the cops show up and they see Mark and quickly figure out that there is no pew-pew and that this appears to be a knife wound. And they asked Mark what happened, and Mark said that all he could remember is he was trying to grab a window. And they're like, what? But they get him to the hospital, but meanwhile they go to look, and they go down the alley, and there they find the truck driver on the ground next to his truck. And they get him rushed to the hospital as well, and they're talking to him, and he's got everything, and of course he's got it all on his cell phone as well. And then they're able to talk to the bar patrons and passerbys and all this stuff too, and all of the physical evidence, all of the eyewitness accounts, all of the cell phone footage, everything agrees with Perry's account of things about Mark being an aggressor, Perry acting only in self-defense. Perry said that Mark smelled like very strongly of alcohol, and so they were both treated at a hospital, and they've both been released now. Um, Perry's son got married this weekend, and Mark got booked this weekend, but he didn't have to stay there because for one thing he's a star and all that, so he just did his paperwork and did his mug shots and then got to go home. But he's got 3 misdemeanors and a felony. He's got misdemeanor battery causing bodily injury. He's got unlawfully entering a vehicle without permission, and he's got drunk in public or intoxicated in public.
That's just like slap on the wrist.
Yeah, those are his misdemeanors. But he's also got a felony battery with great bodily injury, which could, if convicted and given the full sentence, could be up to 6 years in prison.
Do you think the victim has to testify in that charge? Or do you think the district attorney will just pick that up and prosecute without the victim?
I think that the district attorney could prosecute without the victim, but I think that the victim will testify. The victim has already given complete statement and provided the cell phone footage to back it all up, and police have already made the statement that everything that they've been able to uncover corroborates what the truck driver Perry told, what he had to say about what happened. Meanwhile, Mark's only statement about this, which at first I was like, well, why didn't he at least say, I'm glad he survived or whatever, when he was asked about the truck driver, and he didn't answer about the truck driver and just said that he himself, he was grateful to the first responders and to the hospital and to the surgeon and blah, blah, blah. But then I went, wait a minute, these guys in suits with him, well, they're probably his lawyers, and he's probably been advised not to talk. And so he said he was focusing on his healing. I thought that maybe this was like a preliminary to saying, I have substance abuse issues or something like that. But no, he just said, from the stabbing, and that he was anxious to get home to his wife, his son, and his 2 baby girls, and to focus on his healing. And my analysis of the whole thing, having seen the footage, seeing how he was staggering and how he seemed to be like looking for a fight that night, and also being able to compare the movements and the way he walks now that he was leaving the jail, I'm able to determine that I don't think that he's got any brain injuries, those football brain injuries or anything. I don't think he's got anything like that going on. I think that this was likely fueled by, first off, being a total, what's the term for it, a Chad, a gym rat, whatever. He's got that whole, I'm better than everybody else, and I have a right, and and other people don't, and all that kind of thing. So I think it's fueled by his ego and alcohol and or substances, and that all that together was a perfect storm of very bad behavior. And I think that he's going to try to probably put himself into a program or something and tell the courts, oh look, I'm doing something about my problem and blah blah blah, and try to get sympathy and maybe get probation or something for this. Maybe I'm thinking that he's not really going to do any time, but I also think he's guilty of sin, and that we really shouldn't allow celebrities to get away with all this bad behavior that they tend to get away with because they have the money. What do you guys think?
Well, Karen asked I don't know if we can talk about that subject here. Do you think he was on the juice?
I think it's entirely possible. That does happen a lot with athletes or former athletes that they're vain and narcissistic. They want to keep the physique and all that, and we know that contributes to issues with impulse control and aggression, and just like a certain
The most common juice is trenbolone.
yes.
But people call it tren.
And I think that had a lot to do with a certain aggressive landscaper in Colorado who's on house arrest. And
Welcome to the channel, JK. Come on back when you create a new user.
troll hunting.
Troll hunting. The other mods can take him out all the way if they see fit.
Mm.
Yeah. We don't talk about.
Mm.
Get the Zionist out of here.
Yeah. Let's go ahead and take those out, mods. Thank you.
Mm.
I'm not anti-Semitic.
Are you gonna play some guitar?
You're gonna play us out of here with a musical number. What song is it you want to hear, everybody? Because we're about done with our show. We have some live music now.
Yep. Our son Jay on the guitar.
Not a clanker. It's a real human. Ever notice some of your favorite YouTubers are just clanker channels? You guys, if you listen to their voice, you may just be able to pick it out that they're all robots.
Oh my goodness.
Not here. We use our real voice.
Tabasco. That one was pure Tabasco.
Yum yum.
Pure Tabasco.
Play a song.
What?
Play a song. What song is it you guys like? Skinner? Leonard? Okay, Antonio. Well, I'm happy to see you here. Happy to see you in the comments. I saw that comment the other day. I don't know what the heck that was about.
Pantera.
While standing without a strap.
It's classical. You don't get a strap. And the other guitar is louder.
You can sit on my armrest, so you won't be seen. You won't be seen because it chops off right about here on me. Yeah. Woo.
See, it's real.
That guitar.
Let's play some.
What? Some what?
Some. The biggest band in the world. How about that? The one with the most expensive concert tickets.
The $450?
Yeah. Metallica.
The band that's cheaper to fly to Europe to see.
Yes.
Metallica, dude. I come right up on the screen so I can read the comments. That's why I'm always up there in the camera. My wife is way back here.
I don't want to see the comments right now.
Yeah, so we've been married for like ever. Just so you know.
Since the age of the dinosaurs.
Murder stories with my wife. Battlefield Fusion.
Oh, it's a red boat.
Welcome to the channel.
Oh, red boat. What about Pantera?
We're just hanging out playing some music right now. We're done with our
Can
show.
you do cemetery?
Play. What song have they put in the new Battlefield?
I think Domination is in it.
Play that one.
Not on an acoustic.
Play it anyways. MMIWG. Who are we gonna be talking about lately?
Did somebody say MMIW?
G, and they put a G at the end.
I don't know what G is.
I don't know what the G stands for.
Women and girls.
Oh. Yeah, we can do MMIW content on this channel.
And happy
Put her-
Indigenous Peoples Day.
Tomorrow be the day.
Did you get to see the photos of Leonard Peltier at Powwow?
We should tell the story.
He was at the Black Hills Powwow.
too from the beginning.
Not tonight.
No, that would take a little
Well,
bit.
in short, one day on the Pine Ridge Reservation, an unmarked car started shooting at people. And
That
then
was-
they arrested people for retaliation.
And Leonard would not confess to a crime that he did not commit. So he was told over and over again that if he said that he did it,
Dime
they would let him go.
Yep,
but
we
they-
got your damn bag.
But he refused, and so he ended up doing way more time than he ever would have. But he's free now with our people, and he was at the Black Hills Powwow this weekend.
If you have a story or if you have family that you want to put on here that's missing, and it's a member of MMIW story, we'll cover that for you and help you share
Yeah,
that.
give us names and we'll share it out.
Yeah, but we get dark stories on here. We are beautiful, though. Aren't we? Aren't we? My beautiful wife. She didn't kiss me. Did you?
You want me to?
No, not on cameras. People won't like that.
That's why I didn't. Getting close to it.
Yeah. So we always lose a lot of people at the end of the show. Do you know anything from the 70s and 80s?
Technically, pretty much all the Metallica's from the 80s.
Do you know Boston?
Oh, we got half native.
And the other half native, and the other half.
Oh, I think
Another
there's
half.
an issue with text and stuff. Oh, wow.
You know who's native that doesn't know what tribe he is?
Guy
Black
from
Braid.
Black Braid.
Ah.
They tried to remove a lot of. Yep, they did. I'm learning more though. I think somebody needs to go to pen, right?
Yeah.
Easy now.
Go to your powwows, go to your local indigenous communities, learn. We can't let the culture die out.
Johnny Depp. Yeah. Are you gonna simp, Jake? If that's what's your real name.
Who?
That dude Jake.
Huh?
That dude Jake. He's
From
gonna
State Farm?
simp for a little while.
Oh.
WTF. Like and subscribe. Dancing on the sun, dude. If you don't like it, you can unsubscribe tomorrow. Hit that subscribe button. Smash that like. We'll tell you a story tomorrow if you like.
Yeah, we do request, so if anybody wants to either hit it up in here, but I guess the
Hit it right here in the
live chat
comments.
is disappearing, so you can put it in the comments under the videos or under the posts in the community. Give us a story, we'll research it and give it to you in a story form.
Ha!
Oh, that's
I hate it when that happens. Nothing. It got deleted. Thank you, mods.
sad times.
Yeah, Jimmy, that's too bad. He had something happen to him in the bathtub. And it wasn't a crime, so it's not allowed on this channel.
Okay.
Boston. Just that one riff. Come on. Blackberries. Traveling? The traveling blackberries?
Blueberries?
No, it's blackberries.
Dingleberries?
Blackberries.
Okay.
You scooting away now? Supposed to lean in. Put your true crime request stories in here. We can do it. Some Richard Ramirez, Green River Killer, the guy that dances naked under the moonlight, wearing other people's skin. We do cannibal.
Kemper, the co-ed
We do
killer.
cannibal stories on this channel. Let's do a bunch of crap on here. Mostly we like talking to nobody though. With 5 people in the live. Probably all the mods.
Yeah.
Metallica!
Troll hunters.
You guys hit that subscribe button, everybody. Come back and see us tomorrow. We'll have something better to talk about. If you stick around a long time, we'll get our other studio set back up. We're in transition phase right now. Get some better content up in this. We'll have backing photos and we'll have backing videos. We'll have some cool stuff going on. We're just in between setups right now. We do boots on the ground as well sometimes. No, at least 2 of those. Or have we done more? No, we've done at least 3 because we did the cannibal story in Missouri.
Yeah, we do that, and I think a lot of the boot stuff that we didn't actually put on the channel, we can start doing that kind of stuff for the channel as well when we go visit places where heinous things occurred.
Oh, we did a mixed drink cocktail at the beginning of yesterday's show. We did a mixed drink show on this one as well today.
All that's left is the salsa bits.
Do the mods like Metallica?
I think so. I think we'll. Somebody wanted us to make a new drink tomorrow. We should continue to do that.
Okay.
Maybe we'll come up with a new drink for tomorrow. Yesterday we did Pepsi
and pickle juice.
Pepsi and pickles, a KFC special.
Today it was Mountain Dew and Newman's Own salsa.
It turned out really good.
Did. Maybe a dash of Tabasco is what put it over the top.
Yeah. And we're going to incorporate some other food stories. We're going to prepare a nice campfire meal, and we're going to tell a true crime story based upon that and any other disappearing stories that may have happened in the woods. The boy in Brooklyn. The boy in Brooklyn.
Are you talking about
The boy in Brooklyn that got chucked away and they checked the dump up to 50 miles away. We can recap that,
Page.
Karen.
Jacob Pritchett, age 11, In Brooklyn. He's on the autism spectrum. He is nonverbal, and
That's enough music, young.
his mom is currently under arrest and being evaluated
Yeah,
as
Jimmy.
she's 50 years old, and she's in a psych ward because when a well-being check was called in, she told the authorities that there was no kid at her apartment, and there never had been. And they went and looked, and they didn't see any sign of Jacob Pritchett, her 11-year-old son, but they did see that there were some toys lined up, which to me might mean that he had been there not too long ago, although it could have been 6 to 8 weeks ago. But kids on the spectrum do tend to like to line their toys up or make towers out of them. Anyway, this guy is small for his age. A lot of people in the neighborhood, once told that he was an 11-year-old, were surprised and thought he was a much younger child. But they had been seeing him in the upstairs window playing with his toys on the windowsill for a couple years. But then they realized that it's been at least 2 months since they've seen him in the window. And
All summer.
one of the neighbors even said that it's been all summer since she last saw him. And so anyway, to do a more thorough search, the authorities had to go and do some legwork and find the birth records of Jacob Pritchett and go back and confront his mother with this, showing that she did indeed have a child named Jacob Pritchett, and asking her where is he, and she once again denied having a child, and so she was taken into custody. They searched the home, and dogs alerted to the refrigerator, where they did find some blood in the refrigerator. It hasn't been released yet whether that was Jacob's blood or not. They searched the whole neighborhood, the yard, everything. No sign of Jacob. And then this weekend, they were searching a landfill that is actually 5 or 6 hours away from the neighborhood that Jacob has gone missing from.
What was the name of that? Do you remember?
I forget the name of this landfill, but it's under a waste management contract, because the trash used to be
Not yet,
going
Karen.
to a local landfill, but
Here, hold on with the music for a second.
but because of the horrific smell and impact on the neighborhood, they got a contract going with waste management to where the solids were trucked off to this landfill that is about 5 hours from the neighborhood that Jacob is missing from. And so they are searching that landfill, and hopefully that's not where Jacob is. I do hold out hope that he might be alive somewhere. But, unfortunately, I've seen far too much, and the thing is that a lot of times it is these kids on the autism spectrum that end up being victims to their caregivers, and I just wish that people would check in on people that are taking care of special needs kids and see if they're okay. Offer some sort of break for them. And I know that some communities have mentorships and things like that, where families can meet with other families and share coping skills and things like that, and just have a little bit of a break from the pressures while other people watch the kids for a little while in a friendly setting, stuff like that. Anyway, Jacob's mother is in her 50s, and people in the neighborhood are afraid of her and say that her mental health has been declining in the past 2 years, and that she is quick to anger, and that she can go ballistic, and that they've heard her yelling and screaming a lot, and so she is being evaluated. I don't know if she's got dementia going on or a mental illness or what is her issue. So we'll be following the case and learning more about what may have happened to Jacob Pritchett.
Remember, they found other people that have been missing for 5 years.
Yeah.
So there's still hope.
Yeah, there is still hope, and I just hope that, he is being properly cared for by somebody and not exploited.
Being victimized.
Yes.
Do you know any stories you can tell? We can retell the Dorothea's little story. I know we just told it like a week ago, but we can tell it again because these are new people. I know our mods have heard it. It's kind of a short story.
Dorothea Puente.
You're a true crime channel, so.
Who?
Ow, that cat came and scratched me. Did you see it? Jeez.
She pretty much borrowed everything, by the way, guys. She borrowed other people's histories, other people's backgrounds, and even once she was in prison, she was borrowing other inmates' artworks and recipes and life stories
Dorothea.
and things like that, claiming them as her own. So we'll begin there, and then say that Dorothea Puente had a bit of a rough start in life. Her mother was killed in a motorcycle crash. I think her mom was a lady of the evening, and Dorothy started having a fast life at around 15, but she quickly learned how to use men to supply her with money and comfort and jewelry and whatever.
She
and
was
then
taught
as
that
she,
by her mom?
Yeah. And then as she got older, and she also went through foster care and stuff like that. And as she got older, she got more refined in it, and borrowed different ethnicities and names and personalities in order to fit in with whoever she happened to be conning. And then she decided that she was going to adopt the image of being a kindly little old lady, and she was running a rooming house on F Street in Sacramento. And some of her long-term tenants started not being around, but she was still cashing their checks and still, being their caregivers. And eventually, there was one fellow that went missing whose social worker really did her due diligence and was like, what happened to him? And so she went and checked out Dorothea's place, and eventually they decided to excavate Dorothea's garden. There were some strange smells coming out of
prompted them to excavate that.
Well, the talk of some of Dorothea's drinking buddies, for one thing, and people who were just like, you don't want to piss Dorothea off, or you'll disappear, that kind of thing.
It's just a tiny. You
And
can
so-
still go visit this house today if you're ever in Sacramento.
I believe was the number 6 that ended up being buried in her garden, or was it more than 6? More than 6 ended up being buried in Dorothea's garden. And actually, one of the people that Dorothea is linked to, the murder, and see, that's another thing, is she tries to say that she didn't do any of the murders, that she just coaxed other people to do it for her, but I think she actually did the murders. Anyway, one was a boyfriend of hers from L.A. who she specialized in these elderly guys that she would date, and she would take their money, and and some of them she would just date for an evening, and she would slip him a Mickey, and when he's passed out, she would go through everything and clean him out and take anything of value that wasn't bolted down, and whatever cash she could find, cash, jewelry, etc., and bail. And most of the time, these gentlemen were too embarrassed to report it. Um, anyway, this boyfriend from down in L.A., he had this red truck that Dorothea started driving, and saying that she had permission from him that he gave it to her, and then she told another gentleman, a friend, that she got to also dig the garden for her and stuff like that. She told him that she had this large. Well, he might have actually had to build the box too. Build a large wooden box, about the size of a coffin, and she said that it was to store her books. And so he built this thing for her, and then she told him that she wanted to take her books and put them in storage, and she wanted him to give her a ride, and that she would give him this red truck that she had been gifted from her boyfriend, if he did this for her. And so he agreed, and so he helped carry this big, giant, heavy wooden box full of books into the truck, and then they're heading to go to the storage unit when Dorothea goes, you know what, I don't really want these books, so how about we just push the box into the river. So they pushed the box into the river, and later on, weeks or months later, the box was found on the riverbank, and the people that opened the box discovered the skeleton that turned out to belong to that boyfriend of Dorothea's that drove that red truck. And then the guy who was driving the red truck got questioned and by police, and then he then shared some other favors that Dorothea had asked him to do, which included digging holes in the garden for her and stuff, and filling up places in the garden. Sacramento River.
But there's also the American River.
Yeah, or the American River. I forget which river
They're
because I don't have the story in front of me. But anyway, when the law enforcement were digging in her yard before they found any human remains, Dorothea talked one of the detectives into walking her to a hotel lobby down the street, that she was supposed to be meeting a relative there or something, and then she ditched him and took off, and she went on the lam, and then she was picked up later in L.A. because another gentleman that she had met at a bar or restaurant nightclub thing, he started dating her, but before he became a victim, he saw the news and a picture of Dorothea on the news, and he phoned it in, and then the notorious landlady from F Street was arrested, and that's all she wrote.
And then she went to prison.
Yeah, and then when she was in prison, she actually published a cookbook, which I have, and
we should go over.
I have a copy of it, and as Dorothea's recipes. I don't know if all of them are her actual own recipes. She claims they're the recipes from in a rooming house, but there's also drawings in there too that she claims are hers. But I think that some of the stuff in there are actually things that she obtained from other inmates. But it's just an interesting little thing to have is Dorothea's cookbook. And this was before that law was made that you couldn't profit off your crimes.
got to write in English on this channel. Unless one of the mods can decipher it.
Yeah. 'Cause-
I cannot. So you're gone.
Yeah. The thing is, if we or our mods, our troll hunters, if we can't decipher what you've put in there, we're gonna have to just assume that it's something inappropriate for YouTube, that it's gonna get us in trouble with the terms and conditions of service. So we're just gonna have to get rid of it.
They can get us in all kinds of trouble.
Anywho.
Hmm. The guy with the hat, the Grand Wizard guy. I don't know what that's about.
I'll try to figure it out. But
It's another day in the car. That's what
Yeah.
kind of day it is. Isn't
And-
it, dear wife?
yes.
So that was a good little story. Now tell
Yeah.
us something dark. Or
No.
tell us a darker story.
I think that it's probably time for me to get off of here and get ready to
Thank
go
you,
off to bed,
moderators.
actually. Thank you so much for being here, everybody, and we will see you tomorrow.
Thank you to any
And,
new subscribers that may have subscribed tonight. That would be awesome. And we got a goal of 10,000 by January 1.
That would be amazing.
I think we should reach that. It's less than 1,000 away.
That would be amazing. We'd have to do the big push for it.
I know when you brought me onto your channel. What was that? A little while back? A month or so? People were so mad when she brought me in front of the camera, guys. Bam, it was like 300 people just went away.
Well, it's not just that. I had a bass unsubbing before I brought you on also. And a lot of it was trolls to do with the Morphew case and stuff too.
So
People that
anyways,
had gotten multiple accounts and then unsubbed with multiple accounts and whatnot. It's a bunch of unpleasantness, and we're not going to focus on that. We're going to focus on the positive.
but we're growing now. We're getting more subs now.
More friends.
We're getting a whole new group of people that like to hear us.
But I will see you guys tomorrow.
Thanks for stopping by again.
And I gotta go before I start coughing on everybody. 'cause
Antonio,
I can
make
feel
sure you
one.
hit that subscribe button and ring the bell so you know. I usually try to put in there.
And like we said, we do requests and such. So hit us up on the comments on the video comments or over in the community comments, and we will do requests.
Don't forget to hype up this channel too, because I see YouTube has been offering that to some of the viewers that they can hype us up. That'd be awesome. So we're gonna get out of here and come back with new stories for tomorrow. Maybe an update on D4VD, David the singer. Maybe they're gonna drop some charges on that guy possibly.
We should do those incel stories.
But we got a couple of those. We can do some incel stories
The
if you
reason
want.
there's so many incels is because like
Anyways, good night everybody.
women want guys with $100, 100 hairs on their head, you know.
Okay, here we go. Bye. Come on. Thank you.